Hello everybody, Elman-Banyan here. Oh man, I tell you, it's just been so great here in California. You know, I'm kind of a little bit off topic, but that's why there's etc. You know, don't everybody move out here to California, but I'm watching the snowstorms up north and out east, and I'm sure glad to be here in Southern California. Thank you, God, that I had enough sense to move back to California. Love all you folks in Minnesota. Love you in North Dakota. I lived there 24 years, but now I'm back in Southern California. All right. Gosh, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, a podcast. Elman-Banyan's Hypnosis, etc. And I am here with Erika Flint. She is my other co-host. I'm so excited to have her. She just brings a kind of perspective that someone that's been in the business as long as I have just doesn't have, because she has gone from, you know, classroom to clients in a year, and now she's got her regular running full-time practice in hypnosis. She's an expert in marketing, but it wasn't always that way. Back in the beginning, she just got trained at some hypnosis training provider in Bellingham, Washington, and she said, wow, I really dig this hypnosis stuff. I might leave my profession as a software developer and professional problem solver of like over a decade and start working on the human mind. So she went out, did some research, got the 5-Path 2.0 DVD program, got this distance learning. She says, wow, this is what I've been looking for, and slam dunked it, got into professional practice. Then also went through our Week of Power course. So she had both the DVD training and live training. And now, guess what? She is a rising star in the profession. She is a trainer. She is a speaker. You live in the Northwest and you want to get my training, Banyan Hypnosis Certification Super Course, and you live up there, call Erika. All right, I think that's all I want to say right now. Just so glad to have you to talk about the topic today. Let's see, we've got a list of topics here, and ooh, this is an important one. This is going to be focusing on the foundations that work and not chasing after every new little thing that comes across your computer desktop through the internet. How you doing, Erika?
I'm doing great, Cal. Thank you for having me here today. And yes, it's true, isn't it? I mean, if you've signed up for some emails or you're on some lists, you might be noticing that every day there's a new hypnosis technique or there's something new in your inbox that you must learn to do, is what it tells you. But we are here today to talk about the foundation, the important aspects. So let me start, Cal, by introducing you. So I just want to say that, you know, personally, Elman-Banyan is an inspiration to me. And I find that the work that he's done over the last 19 years truly is remarkable. He has accomplished so much. He's given so much back to the profession of hypnosis, not just these podcasts, which I think we're like at 425 or something like that by now, but he's a hypnosis celebrity because he's won almost every single award in the profession. He's written books, some great books. He's been on television. He's been on radio talking about one of the books, The Secret Language of Feelings, one of my personal favorites. He has trained some of the best in the profession, and he is the authority on hypnosis that works. And that is exactly how it was for me personally, because once I got that 5-Path DVD training set, then I knew how to do the hypnosis that works, and that's exactly what I did. I opened my practice, I did 5-Path with my clients, and then I was able to open and go full-time in no time at all. So thank you, Cal, for being an inspiration to me, and I'm really happy to be here today to talk about this topic because it's a little overwhelming with all of these things. Oh my gosh, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Do I need to learn this new technique? You know, what should we do about that? So let's start with the fundamentals, right?
You know, absolutely right. But one person's fundamentals is another person's advanced hypnotic technique. And I know one of the things I want to get across in this episode is that if you've had hypnosis training and other people from your class, you know, 3/4 of your class have opened up their offices and they're doing fine and you're not, then you know what? Are you really studying what you learned? I mean, are you going back through the manual? Are you going back through the books, the CDs, DVDs, whatever that was provided, and getting that mastered? Or are you on your way to becoming what is often called workshop junkie? You're just entertaining yourself with these workshops, and you're just kind of, exciting yourself with one potential hobby after another. Don't go there. If you want to be a hypnotist, get the best training you can, someone that has a record of creating graduates that actually fulfill on their dreams. If they want to be part-time, they're part-time. If they want to be full-time, they're full-time. And then dig in and learn what you were taught. You absolutely have to be confident and competent as a hypnotist. I mean, you've got to know, not just feel, know that you can work with any normal person that would come through your office door that's willing to follow your instructions, that you can get them into a deep state of hypnosis quickly. Because when you're there, then you can start saying, okay, good, now I'm going to do covert testing, I'm going to do convincers, because a client that realizes that they're hypnotized is the best client. Now you need to do that before you do anything. So really focus on those fundamentals. I personally believe I have a great hypnosis certification course, and just recently I sent out a note to all my trainers who teach them a course that, hey, here's some things that's going to make it even better. And what it had to do with focusing even more on the most important stuff. Isn't that right, Erika?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the changes that you've made to that with, drilling and getting people to really know how to hypnotize somebody, so that they know without a doubt they can hypnotize anybody that walks through the door, and they can be paying attention to their client instead of trying to look and remember what they're supposed to be saying, right? That's never good. One of the things that I wrote down that's really important was a really good pre-talk, right? So you have this one of the fundamentals, I think, is your ability to talk about hypnosis in a way that helps people understand what hypnosis is and how it can help them. And this is I'm talking about this kind of in a general sense. So the pre-talk meaning you are talking to your clients when they come in, whether live or if you have a recorded version like Cal does, or you're talking to them in a setting, perhaps you are teaching a class and you just want to give a very brief overview of what hypnosis is, or somebody asks you about, hey, what do you do? And you can give them your elevator pitch on hypnosis and how it works. So I think one of the fundamentals is your ability to talk about hypnosis in a way that helps people understand what it is and how it could help them, right?
As you're saying this, I'm going, wow, what a great extension of where we left off last podcast. We were talking about consistency of presentation and really, the first contact and the website, and then what they saw when they came into the office, so that you're providing them with an experience that leads them into a state of confidence about you and hypnosis, and being legitimate was the word you used, and I think that's really appropriate, legitimate. And then what do you do next? You have them fill out the paperwork and then watch. Well, either provide them a pre-talk one-on-one, or you watch a video. That's the way we do it at our center. Good. Do you see how that flows together?
Say again?
Do you see how that all flowed together?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the way that I was thinking about it, because this is, you want to be so confident in your pre-talk, and you want to understand how and why hypnosis works to such a level that you can integrate it and personalize it for your client, right? So you have this generalized pre-talk. You can talk about it at a party. You can talk about it with your mom. Like if you can explain hypnosis to your mom, then you know exactly that you're doing it right. Let me tell you that, all right? But it's even more than that, because if you have a client, prospective client on the phone, a friend, a neighbor, anybody that shares with you something, and you are able to customize what it is that you know about hypnosis to absolutely help them, right? And this is something that you can do on the phone. You might not be giving a prospective client a pre-talk on the phone, but you should be able to explain to them what they're saying to you, and you can feed it back to them in a way that helps them understand you know exactly what you're talking about, you know exactly how to help them, and they feel confident coming to see you, and they get excited about coming to see you because they believe in you so much based on what you've just shared with them.
Yeah, because you shared something that made sense. And up until that time, hypnosis was like this scary thing from a movie or spooky thing from a book or something Dracula did, and all of a sudden you go, oh, that makes sense. Thank you so much. Now, do they want to go to someone else after you just made sense of the whole thing for them? I think not. Good, continue.
All right, so then, personalizing it for your clients, and then, of course, the confidence, which, we've talked about briefly on here. Confidence in yourself, confidence in your client. So we talk about confidence a lot. It's not just about confidence in yourself as the hypnotist and being able to help them. You need to give this confidence to your clients. And they get that when they come in the door, and this is what we talked about the last episode. But once they're there, you want to help your client feel that what they are experiencing, everything, the hypnosis process, that they are doing it correctly. So you want to praise your clients and you want to tell them that they're doing it right, whatever it is, so that they are feeling confident in their own abilities to allow these changes to take place. So I think the distinction here that I'm trying to make is that it's not just confidence in you, your training, your abilities, and your services, is that you are giving this confidence to your clients that they can make the change as well.
Beautiful. Hey, so, and then I really like the way we're going with this, because it's a little bit different than I think most hypnotists think of fundamentals. And you're really taking a step back and saying, fundamentals aren't just hypnosis fundamentals, but also just practice building fundamentals and things that support the hypnosis, like the pre-talk. So I just think you're doing a great job. Continue.
Right. So this is kind of like building up to the actual hypnosis, right? But as we talk about in the pre-talk, if you're not alleviating your client's fears, if you're not helping them feel comfortable doing hypnosis with you, and that's kind of what we were talking about up to this point, then the hypnosis isn't going to work as well, right? But now moving into the hypnosis, you want to have a really solid understanding and grasp and technique on doing the fundamentals or the foundation fundamentals, including an induction, deepening, convincing, and testing. So those are four of the things that I wrote down that are so critical as far as fundamentals go for the hypnosis in the beginning. What do you think about that, Cal?
And so as you're doing this, because of the direction you're going with it, I expanded it even a little bit further, So we had the continuity from last episode into this, where we start talking about the fundamentals of a hypnotist as you need to be able to give a good pre-talk. And then I would insert between that and where you just went with, do you know how to conduct a really excellent pre-hypnosis interview? Because this is a point where you really show the client that you are aware of what they want to work on, that you are aware enough of the history of the problem, and you are aware of the benefits they expect to gain. Just to name like three main things we want to do in a pre-hypnosis interview. And then the segue from the pre-hypnosis interview into doing what Eric was just starting to talk about, and that is what I call like the clinical assessment for hypnosis. And I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek to make it sound like it's complicated, when really it is just that, you believe you've done all the pre-talking you need to do, you believe you've done the pre-hypnosis interview that needs to be done, and you believe you're ready to go, and you check with them by just looking at them and say, would you like to do hypnosis with me now? And smile, and to gauge their response. If they show any signs of nervousness or concern, then maybe your pre-talk is not done after all. And then you take care of that, and see, you can find out if anything needs to be covered in the pre-hypnosis interview that wasn't covered. You go, is there anything else you think I need to know before we proceed? And so that's the second chance to fill in the pre-talk. The pre-hypnosis interview. Remember, the pre-talk is where we remove fears and misconceptions about hypnosis that would prevent the client from easily going into a deep state of hypnosis. The pre-hypnosis interview is where we find out the client's complaint, the benefits of making the change, history of the problem, that kind of thing. And then there is the clinical assessment for readiness of hypnosis. Would you like to do hypnosis with me now? And smile. So after I've gone back and made sure that, as best I can, that the pre-talk is done and the pre-hypnosis interview is done, then I just retest and say, oh, I think we've covered it then. Would you like to do hypnosis with me now? And then when I get the response I want, and the response I want is an eagerness to go on to the hypnosis. When that happens, then all the stuff that Erika is about to get into happens super good. Please continue.
Oh, and thank you for adding that, Cal. I was just thinking, how happy it makes me to do these episodes with you, because I come up with these ideas and then you just make them 100 times better when you add your own stuff to it. So thank you. All right, so getting back to now, you've done your assessment for readiness of hypnosis with your client. They're eager, they're excited, and then you get to some of the techniques, the hypnosis techniques, the fundamentals that are so critical. The induction. I use 2 inductions primarily. I do the Elman-Banyan induction, and I do an instant induction. But I can mix and match different parts of the induction. The Elman-Banyan induction is really great. It includes tests and convincers. But the other thing I like about it is you can, every time you do an induction, it can be a deepener. So you can mix and match that in your own way. And the better you get at it, the more confident you'll feel doing that type of thing. So having a really good induction is really important. And Cal, I know that that you primarily do an instant induction. Is that right?
Yeah, so again, as you're writing, I'm talking, I'm writing. Hey, so the induction, you heard her talk about the Elman-Banyan induction. It's my updated version of what I believe has become an old, outdated induction, which is the old Elman induction. So what I would like you to do is go to hypnosis.org and then click on the How to Hypnotize. Get the free How to Hypnotize video, and I will teach you for free how to do the Elman-Banyan induction. So that's the one that we teach in class. It's like a great rapid induction. And then my instant induction that Erika is probably talking about is the 8-word induction. You want to learn that? Go to 8wordinduction.com or just do a search for Cal Banyan 8-word induction. I created that induction really so that it would be an instantaneous induction that people could learn in class, and because there's not so much to memorize. And it turned out to be so efficient and so effective that most of my sessions, I just 8 words, bam, I got somnambulism. So go to 8wordinduction.com or do a search for Cal Banyan 8-word induction, and it's right there, and you can use it. There you go. How's that been working for you, Erika?
Oh, it's great. I love the 8-word induction. I use it all the time. So it's definitely one of my favorites. I think that, and I want your input on this too, Cal, like for new hypnotists, it seemed to me, like in the last class that I taught, that they were worried they wouldn't be able to induce hypnosis 100% of the time. That was one of the fears for new hypnotists. And so this being a fundamental, the induction, and being able to do that successfully and over again every single time, I think helps people. This is definitely why it's one of the fundamentals, right? You want to make sure that you know exactly how to do it every time. And what's your experience with that, Cal, with new hypnotists and kind of their fear about the induction?
Well, that's why if you take a hypnosis course and they teach you 6 inductions, you're going to know about 6 inductions and not be able to do any of them. So what we do is we really try to do stuff that works in the office. And so there's the Elman-Banyan induction. We hammer it, we hammer it, we hammer it until they just can do it confidently. Then we do a shorter version of it, the short Elman-Banyan induction that you can use on clients who've been successfully hypnotized using the full Elman-Banyan induction. It takes half as long. So the Elman-Banyan induction takes about 3.5 minutes. The short Elman-Banyan induction takes about 1.5 minutes, and then the 8-word induction takes 4 seconds. And also in class, I teach one that takes 0 seconds. And so, I mean, you don't. If you've done your work and you've done a good hypnosis pre-talk and you've done a good hypnosis preview and pre-hypnosis interview and you've tested them properly for readiness for hypnosis, then you just need a good, solid induction. And one of the good things about the Elman-Banyan induction is it's designed to take them into a deep, useful level of hypnosis, and it has a covert test for hypnosis. So when you get done with the induction, not only have you induced hypnosis, you've taken them to stage 4 5 or 6. And in doing that in about 3.5 minutes, it's hard to beat that for the beginning hypnotist. I don't think there's a better way to go.
I agree, Cal. And I think what's really important about what you said too is realize you don't need to have 6 or 7 different things, right? It's better to learn one really, really, really well, be really confident with it because it works with every client. And then you can't, learning 6 of them and learning 6 different ways to do it and not doing it very well is not going to be very helpful to you, right? So I love what you said there. And I think that's what gives our clients, our students success with their clients because they know something so well. It gives them confidence working with them.
Exactly. So, I say hypnosis is a confidence game. Well, that doesn't just apply to clients. If you are not graduating from your course feeling confident, like, give me someone to hypnotize right now. I want to hypnotize somebody. And to have that kind of confidence, and then you go pre-talk, pre-hypnosis interview, readiness for hypnosis test, bam, hypnotize. You got to do it. And that's where you should be at. If not, then, you need to do some additional work. Now, I want to add something to that. I said before, if 75% of the students from your class are out now doing, their hypnosis practice, and you're not, one of the things I've talked about is, are you really studying your materials? But there's another thing and why didn't I say 99%? Because some people who take hypnosis courses, they're just hobby hypnotists. You never get 100% of the people in class that want to do the profession. Sometimes they want to work on themselves. Sometimes they want to work on a family member. They're learning hypnosis to help their mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, and you've got the hobby hypnotist. So, if you've got 75% of your friends from class out there doing the work and you're not. The other thing is maybe there's something inside of you holding you back. I'll put a link to some podcasts I think it was Brenda and I did, and straighten me out if it was you, Erika, on going and seeing a hypnotist yourself to help you get over what that little blockage is that's keeping you from engaging and doing the hypnosis sessions yourself. How's that sound, Erika?
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that was Brenda that did hypnosis, did 5-path herself. But I completely agree with that. I personally do self-hypnosis. I do 7th path self-hypnosis. That keeps me from having my own stuff that I'm bringing into sessions, because that's really important when you're helping other people. You don't want to bring your own stuff into the session, right? You don't want to have your own limiting beliefs, your own problems that are impacting your work with the client. So you need to do something, right? You need to do self-hypnosis, you need to go through the process yourself, or have some other way of dealing with your own stuff. I would definitely consider that part of the fundamental, and it is something that you go through in the Banyan Super Course, right, Cal? You teach them 7th path in part to go through their own stuff, right?
Right. One of the reasons that 5-pathers are so successful can have nothing to do with 5-path. It has to do with the self-hypnosis style that we teach themselves. By the time one graduates from a course, you are practicing self-hypnosis every day, multiple times, and so you're beginning to build that habit and that knowledge and that ability to keep yourself clear of those things. Get yourself clear and then keep yourself clear of those things that would cause you to hesitate or hold back when otherwise you should be moving forward. Good. Well, what else we got to cover? We're running over again.
All right. Well, I wanted to talk about, the insight, how important some of the basic insight techniques are, like age regression and forgiveness and parts. So there are some insight techniques that can really shift your clients and help them make big changes. But let's focus on doing really great direct suggestion, because we have something, Cal, that I know you've talked about many times before, the segue and using the benefits that your clients has given you in the pre-hypnosis interview, right? Using the benefits that they give you to do direct suggestion in a very powerful way. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. And, one of the benefits of 5-path is our fundamentals are everything that we've been talking about, plus powerful age regression work, plus powerful age progression work, powerful forgiveness and parts work. And when you do those for every issue you work on, be it nail biting, or be it sexual dysfunction, or be it stop smoking or weight loss, or everything, when you use then even these powerful advanced techniques, they become your fundamentals. So other people's advanced, kind of maybe scary techniques, when you really get trained in them properly and you use them with every client, those advanced techniques to you become fundamentals, and then you're going to be able to bring about changes when everything else has failed. And in my mind, that's what top hypnotists do. We help people be successful when everything else has failed. Okay, wrap it up, Erika.
All right, that's a good point, Cal. I was talking about age regression the other day in a NGH meeting, and people were kind of afraid. Other hypnotists were afraid of age regression, and I was thinking, wow, this is something. There's nothing to be afraid about age regression. I do it every single day. It is so powerful. How can you not do it, right? So I love that. It can be one of your fundamentals, and it should be, because it's a very powerful technique. So, you know, this idea came to me because I was getting all these emails, right? And, oh, this new technique, and you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And it's just not true. So don't worry about all the new stuff coming out there. Get your fundamentals straight. You will be able to help everybody. You will be able to help your clients that walk in the door. And once you do that, you're going to feel even more confident, and you won't have to feel so overwhelmed by all of the new stuff coming out. Of course, there's new great things coming out all the time. You want to stay on top of stuff. But if you have your fundamentals and the foundation set, then you feel confident knowing when to incorporate other things that are important to you and to your practice. I'm Erika Flint. Thank you for joining me today. You can find me at CascadeHypnosisCenter.com, and you can also find me at Our Hypnospace, where I lead the marketing group, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for joining today.
Awesome, Erika. Thank you so much for being on the program. And once again, I want to see you guys in class. We got class coming up in July 6th through 17th, with the weekend in the middle off. That's our NGH-approved Banyan Hypnosis Certification Super Course. Everything we talk about how things should be done, who you could be as a hypnotist, it's covered there. If you've already been certified, bam, we got the Week of Power, Advanced Hypnosis. It's the same course, but we spend a lot less time on the basics, get right into the advanced stuff, 5-path, 7-path self-hypnosis, so that you can rock it. And if you're watching this after these classes are done, just go to the class schedule here on this website, calbanyan.com, and you know what? We'll do great things together. See you on Our Hypnospace. See you on Facebook.com/hypnosis, etc., and be part of the conversation. That's it. Cal Banyan, signing out.
This recording is the property of Cal Banyan and the Banyan Hypnosis Center for Training and Services, Incorporated. All rights reserved, for private use only, may not be duplicated without permission. For contact information, go to www.hypnosiscenter.com.